Open water with sharks in it, he gon' swim. Ain't stopping down the groove line. For that money respect, I'm more than willing to shoot.
You are, you have been, you will be under the groove.
Hoover rovers, young hoes, we fly shit. Stash box properly placed in the cockpit. Steady mobbing, no politics in the gossip. It's a groove, man, round here, nigga, watch this.
Can't stop it. I love Hoovers in the profit. Moving to the set. Tangerine Corvette, pretty young thing. She a fly roulette. Born in the head, no Russian roulette. Two for the set, flying on deck. 3 hoes waiting online for the dead. 4 straps in the stash, I'm down with the shit. 5 with the deuce, 6 with the dubs. Anybody kill a hella dollars in the cross. 6 city styling, looking like a dog. So that's 16, my niggas putting on. $1 million dreaming, 8 figures. Give me my number table in case a nigga need a reason.
You will be under the groove.
Trade folks, 7-11, the Deuce and the 9. Hoover Hay to the culture enthusiasts, the Hoover Knights, and the collective. This exclusive, yes, exclusive, is being grooved to share with the community the New York contingent of the 52nd Street Hoover Gangster Crips. I call it an exclusive because this too is an example of Hoover's initiative, its trend-setting qualities, not agenda, to set forth the get down that actually is representative in all sectors of the gang culture. We're connecting with our brothers in other states in a positive and connective manner. That being so, we can say no other podcast is or has ventured into the aspect of the culture. And yet we set this in motion so that they too can or will want to tap in with other brothers representing what it is, where they're from, in a positive fashion also. So I have Rico and the young homie Zay, 52nd Street Hoover Gangster Crips, man. You know, they're here gracing the platform, man, you know, just to enlighten the rest of us on their groove back on the East Coast. So, you know, we're going to have a discussion, man, basically like I always do, man, where we're talking about our origins. You know what I mean? Our history and shit, you know, the mindset of individuals like yourselves, man, how y'all see this thing that we call Hoover, this community, you know what I mean? Where y'all hope for it to be, where you want it to go, you know, and your involvement in it, man. First off, how old are you, bro?
I'm 38 years old.
38, man. And you was like
29.
You're a youngster, you know. So you know what, you're in an honorary seat right now. So you know, you know, but we're gonna tap in with you from time to time for sure, for sure. Tell me about it, man. Tell me about you initially, man. New York City, man. You know, how it was, you know, you growing up, you coming up.
Okay. Well, I ran around all of New York. I'm originally born in the Bronx, but I was raised in a town called Hempstead, Long Island. You know what I mean? That was the mecca of the Hoovers in New York.
Long Island.
Yeah.
And is that a borough? Is what they call a borough?
There's 2 boroughs that's on Long Island. Queens and Brooklyn is on Long Island. I'm from the counties outside of it.
Okay, cool. So, but Hoover started.
Yeah, it starts in Hempstead.
In Hempstead.
Yeah.
Five Deuce
Hoovers.
How'd that occur? How did it? Well, as a youngster, was Hoover there then? You know, as a kid, you know.
Well, me growing up, it was Crips, and then later on, I found out the Crips around the way was Hoover.
Okay.
They the original Crips in Long Island.
No shit.
They was called the Hoover Deuces.
Okay. Hoover Deuce. That's like the movie.
Yeah, just like
that's like the movie South Central.
Yeah,
Hoover Deuce.
But yeah,
it was 5 Deuces though, right?
When they first kicked off, they was Hempstead Crips.
Okay.
And then when my big homie Boss Hog and Alok and Blue Steel, they the age originals, you know what I mean? Hempstead Crips.
Okay.
And they went to the pen. New York had its own politics, and dudes like, yo, y'all gotta have a set. Like they was classifying Hempstead Crip as a set.
Okay.
So they laid the foundation for what was the Hoover Deuces in Green Penitentiary, which became the first Crip dominated penitentiary in New York.
Can you tell us what year this was? What decade?
This is 1996.
96. Okay.
They start the Hoover Deuces in Green.
Okay. What are these individuals, man? They still with us, man?
Yeah,
they doing time? What?
They still with us. All of them is free.
Yeah.
All of them is from Fathers Hoover.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those is my elders.
Okay.
I mean, that introduced me to Crippin'.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Now, first generation under them, when they all came home and they broke ground in the streets.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I came in with my man Hoover Wise. You know what I'm saying? He was the original Tiny Lope.
Okay.
For the Hoover Deuces.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And he pushed the cold line. You know what I mean? That set precedents as New York Crips were historically outnumbered by the Bloods. You know, New York was a heavy duty blood dominated.
Is that right?
State.
I didn't. I think I heard about Bloods being there, but I didn't know that they had dominated it so much.
They had dominated. When they came out in '93. You know what I mean? They had they pretty much like I compare it to, you know, Shaka Zulu, to what Raymond Washington did. You know what I'm saying? Where they kicked game to the other black gangs that was in Rikers Island. Yeah. And then they all unified as Bloods. And then reputable niggas got their own blood gangs, and they already had their crew. So they was already New York gangs. Okay. They just grabbed the blood identity. That's why all the New York Bloods got different names. Okay, got you. The original New York Bloods don't rock. You know, it's no Pop Rule, there's no Denver Lanes. It's their own program. Like, they blood ain't have nothing to do with. But they use the term blood. They use the term blood, and they use the red rag, but they had nothing to do with the West Coast. It was their own program. Did the word blood, was that an acronym in New York as it was originally here in Los Angeles? The word BLOOD. Yeah. Yeah, an acronym for them. Yeah, it was an acronym also. Yeah. Okay. You know, when I think about New York gangs, man, and this, you know, not to be funny or nothing, but I just watched The Warriors. Okay. The movie, The Warriors, this old school movie about gangs in New York. In New York, Warriors come outside to play, But you know, you think of gangs in New York, you think of the gang, and this is just me, I could be ignorant. The Sharks. You know what I mean? The Machetes and shit names like that. But that's not really what it is, right? Or is it? Well, that's way before my time. Okay. But when I was coming up, my first thing that I was a part of was called Northside Riders. Northside Riders. Yeah. So that was our part of town, and we were just Northside. Were they Bloods or Crips? Nah, we wasn't nothing. We were just Northside. Okay. And then the Bloods and the Crips started coming around the late 90s. They really started hitting the streets hard first. Of course, it was New York City. And then us with family members in the city, different cousins would bring it out to Long Island. So then now, boom, they kick off and they put their homies down and they day ones and they sandbox niggas. And now you got all these different gangs spreading. Right. Got New York. Got you. Okay. Yeah, it is intriguing to me. I don't know how anyone else would look at it or consider New York gangs in that culture. You know, for me, it's always been something I've wondered about and I thought about, man, especially when I heard that we had Hoovers, Bloods, and Crips in New York, you know, and I always thought that New York gangs were dominated by a different gang culture. You know what I mean? Yeah, at first, we had it was like intellectual gangs. I guess you would call like the 5%ers. 5%ers, yeah. And the guys and Earth. Yeah. That was original New York shit. Yeah. And, are they still around? Yeah. Yeah, they not, you know what I mean? He could probably tell you if it transcended to his generation. I know it wasn't that big for my age group. You know, the Blooding and the Crippin'. Okay. How it took precedent. Okay. Well, let me ask you, Zay, in terms of what we just talked about, do those gangs still exist?
They exist. Like they're not down to our generation, but they still exist though. Like
do guys in your generation,
no,
they don't involve themselves with
no.
Why?
It was just a back in the day thing. It's just not. So it's just not relevant no more. Really, like
it holds no interest for you guys. Yeah. What about the knowledge that I once understood 5%ers and guys like that always had, you know, a trunk or chest of knowledge.
Yeah, definitely. My father's a 5%er, so
yeah. And so, but the culture, the generation now, that's not something that intrigues them, that they're interested in.
Nah.
What is?
The street life.
Getting paid,
the street life. Yeah, the bad stuff. Yeah. They're not really trying to preach no more. They trying to just turn up.
Y'all want to be preached to?
Nah.
Okay. So then, how do we communicate? How do we connect with y'all? We can't, get y'all the game. That don't just go for New York brothers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just nationwide, period. Our younger generation, period, wherever they are. So how do we communicate with y'all?
Probably got to be from the land, because that's who probably they'll listen to a little bit, because that's where it started. You know what I'm saying? So besides that, it's just he say, she say to some people. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Like I said, to me, just to understand how New York groove, man, is something that I've always been interested in. I'm not gonna lie. Another movie that strikes me, man, it's an old movie as well. The Education of Sonny Carson. And this movie was done in New York too. You know what I mean? Young dudes, man, 8, 9 years old, man, going through it. You know what I mean? Just, conditions were deplorable. The lifestyle, man, the culture was whack, man. Drug addiction, just black on black crime. It was a cold movie. In the end, though, it has a message. You know what I'm saying? And I'm hoping that what we're doing, it conveys a message also, man. Not just a message, man. To give some direction to the youth, man. Give them, idea on what it is they really want. So we can understand how to get it. Help y'all get it. New York, man. Back to you. It's a trip, man. So you say 93.
93, the Bloods came. You know what I mean?
They came.
The Crips was there at first, but the Crips was in Harlem, New York, and they were actually rolling 30 Harlem Mafia Crip.
Yeah.
I mean, they the first Crip turf, first blooded Crip gang in the streets in New York.
And in Harlem, they were Crips though.
They were.
Shout out to the Harlem Crips.
Crips, rolling 30 Harlem Mafia Crips. And but they didn't expand.
Okay.
They was doing their thing, and they had a couple of blocks, and they was trapping. They did their shit.
Okay.
And they actually, how the Crips took over Green, they got locked up back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can see news articles about it. Mm-hmm. When the Harlem Mafia, they was the first Crips to catch a big case, and they went in like 80 of them got locked up, and they was all got placed in Green, and the Hoovers was there, and the Hoovers in the Harlem turned the jail out, and that shit became a Crip mecca for like maybe a half a decade, for like the whole 90s. Just about.
Okay, Harlem being one of them, but not just Harlem, but like you said, Bloods too. But you said Bloods, they weren't caught up in the Pyru and the
none of
that. They wasn't like that. But Blood and Red Rags is something that
they Red Rags.
Yeah,
they was
that's what they repped.
They was non-trade gangsters. There was Gangster Killer Bloods. There was Valentine's. There was Sex Money Murder.
And these all blood gangs.
These is all Bloods. And then like the Gangster Killers, they was actually a faction of 5%ers. And that's why I said it changed. So that young generation of 5%ers, they became Red Rags.
Okay, got you. Now, you speaking about this gang shit, man, the way you are, man, and like you said, you came into it at, how old were you?
I was 14 years old.
You was 14.
Yeah.
You come in there by yourself? You grooved into it by yourself, or you had your brother, your homeboy, your cousin?
I'm an only child.
Yeah.
So it was for that brotherhood. I was looking for that brotherhood.
Just looking for that,
I didn't have brothers.
Extended family.
Yeah. That's what I was looking for. So I was outside, always off the porch. I started going outside when I was like 11 years old.
Yeah.
So that's how I got down with the North Side, because that's what the older cats around the way was. So in my couple of square miles that I could ride my bike through, that's what we was.
Yeah.
North Side.
Yeah.
When I was doing my thing, selling my weed for the older cats, and then I get my crew together. Now we 10 deep, and now next generation, we riding bikes, and we got beepers, and we hitting pay phones, and we making sales, and we selling the gang of nickels and dimes, and just doing our shit.
Yeah, I don't know. The culture different in New York though, for real, man. I mean, we did the beepers and shit. Dudes I think had their crews, but we were more like the set was to get out. You know what I mean? Like if we was on the set of Cat, like say how you did your thing. You started a crew in the set, that'd be like, oh, wait a minute, you know what I mean? I don't know if that's how it went down there, but
Nah,
you wouldn't have been allowed.
Cats. They was older cats, and they was north side. Like New York, north side been going on for years. I don't know when it started.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we just from the north side of town, and everybody from the north side of town, if you was outside and you was fighting and doing shit, then you was representing north side.
Okay.
You know, it wasn't no you ain't had to get beat in the north side.
Right.
You just had to be.
The crew you formed was also north side then.
Yeah, we were just.
They was nobody
cats.
different. They were just younger cats. Yeah,
from north side.
Yeah, got you. Okay,
and then we all continue with our gangsterism, and like I turned Crip. A couple of my boys turned Gangster Disciple. I mean, a couple dudes turned Blood. You know what I mean? A couple cats turned Latin King. You know what I mean? We all went different ways as we grew up from elementary school, went to junior high, and all different groups of friends and shit like that. And that's where we ended up in. It wasn't like, you know, your turf was just sectioned off.
Right, gotcha.
It didn't get to that point yet.
Yeah.
Everybody's young. Nobody know, okay, we got to all lock this shit down and we can't let another gang come in here. Nobody really thinking about that.
So in them days when you started, it was just open range. You can and to my understanding, that's how it was when it first started out here, Cripping. You know, you can go, you know, Crips, whenever, wherever. It wasn't no, hey, you can't come on our set type shit. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Is it still like that now?
Now it's getting, now that it's going generations now. Now we almost, you know, we talking about since like 1995, so it's almost 30 years now. So now you do got areas that is dominated by certain gangs.
Closed off. You won't want to get caught over there.
Yeah, like our turf is called Hillside.
Okay.
Like that was like the first Crip turf in Long Island, and it's still a Crip dominated turf to this day. You know what I'm saying? My nigga Trigger Happy Free Trig, you know what I'm saying? He one of the niggas that broke ground over there. So we got the Hillside Hoover, we got the Hempstead Hoover, we got the OG homies from Strictly All Groovy Gangsters. You know what I mean? That's
All Groovy Gangsters?
Yeah.
That's the name of them?
Strictly All Groovy
Are they affiliated with Hoovers?
We all Hempstead Hoovers.
Okay. Okay, got you.
You know what I mean? When they came back from prison, you know what I mean? They had their crew, they collective.
Okay.
And, you know, we all operate as one, but we got little pockets, you know what I'm saying? The homies, and I wouldn't say crews, but we like Voltron. So as the numbers got bigger, and then we push the line on niggas, and we recruit other Crips that they wanted that tie. Once the Hoover shit, once that relationship was really solidified, you know what I mean, in Manchester Park in 2010, now dudes from other Crip cars that never had no relationship and they just been Cripping for all their life, and this is all they know, this is what they love. Now they're like, oh, I could really get ties to the motherland, and I can have a relationship and get authentic history, because what they told us, yo, you dumb, you Crip, you Blood, you from New York, you never gonna go out there, you never gonna meet the dudes that started your shit, you're gonna just be dead in jail, and you're not gonna never know anything. The history of whatever it is, a fool, and you're not a recognized member. And it was dead ass true. You know,
so is that aspect of that criticism?
I agree with it. We didn't know what we was doing. I was a little kid.
Yeah.
We 14 years old. We don't know. We following older cats that's Cripping, and we didn't know they didn't know. We didn't know that they wasn't tied to the land. So we get older. Now we like, oh, this shit ain't what it is. And
it's
that's
not
how,
authentic yet.
Once I started realizing, and then I found out I got family that's Hoover, and then they're like, yo, cuz, y'all Hoover dudes, y'all should be 5 dudes Hoover Gangster Crip. And I'm like, what's 5 dudes Hoover Gangster Crip? I didn't know nothing. These dudes ain't give us no grooving.
Yeah, no lessons.
It wasn't, they didn't know. They get down with Hoover dudes. And you know where Hoover dudes come from? OG Bobby Johnson, Bear, Ray, and they seen this,
the movie,
and they was like, oh, we doing that shit right here. You know what? This is what we do. We gonna be like them niggas. And they got a movie. It's lit. We fucking with Hoover dudes. That's what I'm guessing. They're like, it's the Hoovers. That's how the Hoovers is grooving. It's Hoover dudes. Because niggas don't know no Hoovers from Hoover Street. We just know we thinking the Hoovers is Hoover dudes. So
Yeah.
niggas was, we wasn't wearing orange rags, we was wearing black rags. We was
right.
These niggas are straight ruthless killers, gangster niggas, and we dead ass got the motherfucker get down. We was the Hoover dudes from the movie. We was the real life Hoover dudes.
Man.
And my big homies was the real life OG Bobby Johnson, Bear, and motherfucking Ray. They was really these niggas.
Well, let me ask you this. And I, like I say, man, it's fascinating just hearing you guys' aspect or side of it. Because it was different for us, of course. You know what I mean? Because we, it was the Mecca. We in the Mecca. That being said, man, in terms of what your understanding was, and how you realized, or the criticism helped you to realize that, wait a minute, man, I need to know my history. I need to, if I'm gonna do this, I want to do it right. You know what I'm saying? So once you got to bar that and you connected yourself to that, what did your outlook become then? I mean, see, because a lot of cats get it, and they get it one way, just gang banging.
Man, yo, I got it.
You know what I mean?
And once I got real, authentic grooving, and I got under the groove for real, and I started, you know what I'm saying, busting my shit.
Mindset
and I met my H original homeboys. And I'm up in there, and I remember I'm with Big Dre Dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm with Wildflower. I'm with my nigga Kiki Deuce Trip. You know what I'm saying? I'm with my nigga Big Blue Rag. And they just so happy, that the relationship is there. They're like, nigga, we got Hoovers in New York, and I'm up in the function, and we gang hanging and busting our groove and drink Capital H. And Big Dre Dog like, yo, tell these niggas where you from, cuz. And I'm like, yo, I'm from Hempstead. He was like, nah, nigga, you from Hoover Street, nigga. You from Hoover Street, nigga. And I'm like, shit, yeah, nigga. I'm from motherfucker Hoover Street, nigga. You know what I mean? That's how I give it up to my homies. Like, this shit ain't a gang. It ain't a gang to me.
Right.
It's my tribe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And me and my homies, we was a tribe in New York, and we had the same beliefs.
Yeah.
But we didn't find each other yet.
Okay.
We was lost looking for our loved ones. You know what I'm saying?
So how do y'all push y'all's groove out there? In other words, to my understanding, and I think it's, I think it's okay. It's a solid thing if this is the case. Y'all not in the conflict. Am I wrong? I mean,
we're not in the conflict with like the neighborhoods like that,
which is like, okay.
I call that situation is just a Cold War.
Okay.
Because it's out of respect for our heritage. Okay. And our lifestyle. Okay. And what we represent. So I'm not a nigga that, I'm never gonna say I kill. And we never had no drama with them. Them cats, we was cripping with them.
Yeah.
You know
there
what
you
saying?
go.
Now that I got homeboys from the land.
Yeah.
That and relatives that I found out this is my family, this is my uncle, this is that.
Yeah.
And what they went through. And when I learned Hoover history, now I understand why all tribes don't get along. I understand that, and I never understood that before.
You get it now, though.
Because before it's just we Crips, we cripping, and we blue rags, and that's what we represented, and we was outnumbered by the red rags. It's the total opposite of how Crip and Blood started in California.
In LA, yeah.
Crip is dominant. Where I come from, Blood was dominant. And what the Crips was equivalent to what the Bloods is. We were small pockets of anti-Bloods that didn't like the shit they was doing, and we wanted to be against it, and we wanted to stand together. And then boom, dudes started tying up blue rags and started, fuck it, if I'm gonna be banging on Bloods, if we got beef with them cats and they Bloods now, fuck it, we Crips, because we don't fuck with them niggas from the other side. And that's how we're being. So then that's how you got Hempstead Crips. And then dudes, you go into the prison, you start networking. Yeah. And just like the equivalent of like niggas had CCO. And niggas had like a doctrine that was called the Blue Funk. And then you had the 161. It was two like Crip constitutions. Okay. You had a Crip constitution that came from the streets of Brooklyn. And then you had a Crip constitution that came from Green. That's the Blue Funk. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of created a kind of unification of the Crips, because the Crips, you had the jailhouse Crips, and then you had the homegrown New York City Crips, like a famous homegrown New York City Crips set is the 8 Deuce Trades.
8 Deuce Trades.
8 Deuce Trades. G-Stone Crips from Brooklyn. They the Brooklyn Crip car.
They've been around a while.
They original from the 90s.
Okay.
From early 90s.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You know.
Why is it 8 Deuce Trade?
You know, from the homies that I got there, that should come from the address of the original building.
Okay, got you.
They get down that.
Okay.
And then that shit just the niggas, they do their shit, man. I've been cripping with them cats for a long time.
Oh, you know them, you interact with them. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah.
That was you know, we fought with them real hard until, you know, the untimely demise of the Keyway Pop Smoke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
We never had no.
And so that bought kind of conflict.
Yeah. Because you know, social media.
Yeah.
They just blamed everything on Hoover. Hoover did
it.
Yeah. Hoover did it.
Yeah.
And you know, we know, you know the truth. You know what I mean? That shit ain't just a Hoover get down. Yeah. And ain't have nothing to do with no gang shit. That shit just was some freaky shit that went bad.
Yeah, yeah.
And it, you know what I'm saying? But we as Crips, we know that, but we just don't engage socially as much
as you used to.
You know, respectfully, like, yo, you know, we come through, we went to Pop Snoop's memorial and we dropped, you know, our orange roses off and blue roses and paid tribute to Cuz, you know what I'm saying, was out there with Cuz. But yeah, when the news hit, you know, we New York cats, that nigga was lit, you know, for a youngster in New York doing his thing.
So he was well liked.
He was putting on for the New York, he was putting on for the New York Crips. Yeah. You know, so that shit hurt us, especially us, who we like, damn, that was the next nigga in New York, and they like, damn, the Hoover done killed Cuz, and we got a homie from Fathers Hoover, my nigga Young Custom Model, free Young Custom Model from the Woo, and authentic Fathers Hoover Gangster Crip from Church Ave District, Brooklyn, and you know, that shit broke his heart. Yeah, you know that. You know, and that's the loss no matter how you look at it, man. You know, on both sides of that. All respects to Pop Smoke family and from 8 Deuce Trey. And rest in peace, my nigga T. Wu. That was my man. Real tight with him. Okay. You know what I'm saying? The whole Wu Camp, Favio. You know what I mean? Favio come to my events and shit. And party with us. What kind of events? You throw parties and shit with it? I get it. It should be lit. Your shit be lit. I get it grooving in New York. Yeah. I think I see some of your videos though, some of your clips and shit. Yeah, man, you post enough of that shit so everybody can see it? Yeah, man. I do my thing. You know what I'm saying? Is that you in on that shit? Yeah, I'm on that. Yeah, he come through. He bring all the hot young girls. Yeah. Out. Yeah, we turning up, man. Pop a lot of bottles. Yeah. You know, it's a good environment. Wait a minute though, because I know you get out, man, and we've been talking for a month now. Yeah. I heard of you before I met you. Through other homies, other reputables and shit, you know, and they said, man, this is the homeboy, man, and you need to holler at him, you know. And I ended up saying, man, I said, man, let me get the homie number, man. I want to call him, you know. And I've been watching you ever since, man. I think you're getting out, your groove is tight, you know. For those that don't know, what's your channel? What's your link? What is it? Oh, you can hit me. My personal get down is BlueJuice_Rico, and I run a Hoover music channel called Groove Gang Audio on Instagram. Yeah, and I'm just all about the culture. Yeah, I'm all about the history.
Trey folks, 7-11, the Deuce and the 9. You have been, you will be under the groove.
But we ain't game banging. This is about education. We trying to educate our youth right now, nigga. Hey. Said day is the best day. Skip walking across the floor in the best way. From Trey to the one way. It's a stump day. LA to the NY. Let this funk, you know, back in them days, it was love, loyalty, respect, and honesty. That's my nigga Gumby right there from the beach. Ex-busters, hooks, and snitches put on pedestals and ventilators. Say lows on that Hoover shit. HIP, Tiny Moon, one of the hardest poets I ever heard connected with this star shit. Hey. Baby Jap and Jap 5, quick to set it off on the mic in the shack live. When the shit get real and feel to the wheel, and then you will see like you sitting up in that motherfucker, looking at that light sin, that death sin. Then they run into a witness stand, telling on their own homeboys. Hoover stomp all night like this. Hoover stomp like that. I know trouble. I know how to start them. Yeah, I know trouble. Yeah.
I'm a New York nigga in the Pacific Sun. I say West Side Hoover if you ask where I'm from. Finest California runs, infusing my lungs. All about my bread, I ain't leaving.
Understand the end game. What's your end game? What's your purpose?
Keep one in the head or I don't need a gun. I'm with Hawk on Hoover Street with a low ass jump. Hopping down Figueroa with a wholesale and cut.
You have been.
Like this, come second to none. Grooving like Scone Young, grooving like Booker Bone. I'm bad to the bone.